Good morning.
Hey, Seattle.
As always, it's your girls, Jasmine and Shantae.
Welcome to another Thursday morning and another episode of The Way with Jazz and Tay.
We'll be bringing you lots of laughs and class to get you ready for the day and the weekend ahead.
Will it be the way or not the way? Find out and join the conversation.
Welcome back to The Way with Jazz and Tay. Before the break, we got into a nice interview with Abdul. It sounds like you've got a lot going on for you and you're growing. You're out here doing things.
Yes.
Congrats.
I just turned 27, so I don't think I'm physically growing.
I'm
but
dead.
Spiritually, I feel like I'm still growing.
When was your birthday?
February 28th.
Okay. You're 20. Okay, I'm 27 too.
When was your birthday?
Mine's July though, so
Okay.
I'm almost 28.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm glad we get to share these 3 months together.
Right.
Or 4
Yay.
months.
Yay.
In honor of your birthday.
It's 3 months
Does it still
ago.
count?
Literally, it's 3 months
I just
ago.
met you, so that's fine.
If we count this, I deserve a quarter point for getting the Marley.
Oh my gosh.
He's still fishing.
He's-
fishing.
No, you're going to be happy with your 7 points, okay? All right, Tay, take it away.
As you all know, it is Mental Health Awareness Month. We kicked the month off by discussing our personal journeys to happier and healthier lives. Last week, we talked to Charmin Jarman, a local Chicago artist, about mental health and what she's been doing to stay mentally strong, as well as whether or not we think the world is ready to be outside again. And I think we all said no.
Right.
This week, we are going to be discussing mental health specifically as it pertains to Black men in America with Abdul. I think we really wanted to kind of like section these off this way because I think that holistically, like, there is a very negative stigma in the Black community, but I also think that for Black men, it's even greater. So I'm really glad that we were able to get you on, Abdul, to, discuss this.
Thank you.
I did really want to read this infographic that I put in here really quick.
Do it.
Though.
Yes,
Yeah.
please. Yes.
Okay, so I got this from the National Mental, I forgot where I got it from, you guys. It's like NMIAC. And I can go back and double check it. It's
Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration.
thank you, Jasmine.
It's at the bottom in very, very
It's
tiny
very
print.
small print, and if anybody knows, I'm blind. I can't see anything but black lines down there. Okay, so basically the infographic says that 13.4% of the U.S. population identifies as Black or African American. Of those, over 16% reported having a mental illness in the past year. That is over 7 million people. Okay, more people than the populations of Chicago, Houston, and Philadelphia combined.
And now, and that's just reported numbers.
Yes,
That's just
those
reported.
are people that are
Yep.
willing to take the survey and answer. I wanted to add that and talk about it just because I think those numbers are like really crazy high and staggering, but it doesn't surprise me either. I think that because of what we deal with as Black people in America, that's to be expected, and I think it's unfortunate. To kick it off, Abdul, how did you become a mental health advocate?
I've always been a supporter of mental health. I grew up with my mom and my sister. My parents got divorced when I was really young, and my dad lived over here. And I feel like growing up with 2 women in the household has kind of helped me identify with mental health and some of the less masculine things. I'm not sure how to put that. But
No, that's
Yeah.
key. That's a huge key part. Okay.
yeah, and I've always kind of been aware of it, and I've always been in a place where I felt like I could talk about it, but I've never fully taken it seriously. I got my video games, I got my food. There's not much for me to complain about. And in 2015, actually, my uncle, my dad's brother, who was like basically a second father to me while I was in Kenya, committed suicide. And that really messed with me personally because we had all kind of known that he suffered from depression, but that wasn't talked about a lot, specifically in Kenya, because it's a very religious part of town that we're from, and we're just like, oh, he has some kind of shaitan in him. let's have him pray, have him do all this, and it'll fix him. And every time that he would just disappear for 2 days because he was sleeping and not really have the motivation to do anything.
Yeah.
I feel like people would get more annoyed than anything and just think that he was being inconsiderate.
Yeah.
when
Well,
clear signs of depression.
really,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, thanks for sharing that
course.
with us. I'm really sorry
No.
about the loss. Speaking of, Kenya and what that looked like, so, and like you were saying, religiously, like,
Mm-hmm.
is it a huge disconnect because of that? Like, do they really just write it off that way? Like, when you're in Kenya, are you able to say like, no, hey, I actually have depression. I need to go and get treated for it, and there's resources available.
I can't speak for all of Kenya, but at least my experience there and here with Kenyan parents, it has definitely been written off. I think two big things are with religion being as big as it is, praying and reading the Quran is a cure-all for everything.
Yeah.
If you're sick, if you have anything, read Quran. I remember once losing a textbook, and instead of looking for it, my mom made me read the Quran. Even back then, I could kind of figure that we
Not
should
to
probably
laugh,
look for it.
but
Yeah.
it's a little, yeah,
Yeah.
I gotcha. Like, we'll pray that you find it.
The second thing, I think, especially with people immigrating here, like I said earlier, my dad's focus. He moved here when he was 26, had no papers, no nothing, and his goal since then has been to survive. And
Yeah.
like you don't really have space to be sad or think about anything else when
Yeah.
you're making minimum wage and you have a family to support in a increasingly expensive city. So I do remember being like 14 or 15 and going to my dad and saying that I think I might be depressed or might be sad. And he just said, oh, don't worry about it. It's just everybody's talking about it right now. So you think it is that you're depressed, but you're not depressed. Just go to work.
That is actually very important that you said that.
Mhm.
That, everyone's just talking about it. So you feel like, you fit into that.
Mhm.
And somebody just recently said that to me.
Right.
Like, so you said you were 14 or 15 then, which
Yeah.
is, over 10 years ago at this point.
Mm-hmm.
And somebody just said that to me a few days ago that, everyone's just talking about it now. So that's why, it feels like it's so mainstream. But no,
Yeah.
like, people have been talking about this, and it's just slowly becoming more okay,
Right.
and barely even okay to really, talk
Yeah.
about and express. So do you feel like, outside of, say religious or cultural things, do you feel like you being, I know you said you grew up with your sister and your mom,
Mm-hmm.
say maybe amongst like your peers or anything like that, did you feel any kind of pressure or maybe like any difference because like, maybe I'm a little bit more soft than my friends, or, maybe they're all macho or something? Like, what did that look like? What was that dynamic like with your friends?
That was definitely a thing. I think I mentioned it first, the whole dance story behind that. It's coming full circle. I do remember having feelings for this girl. And, we ended up, I asked her out. She said no because we were friends, and ended up dating my other friend.
Oh.
And that other friend was this big buff dude that played sports and whatnot. And I was this skinny kid that just
It's not
came
about
in from
muscles.
Africa.
It's about brains. Come on.
That's what I was telling myself at
All
the
right.
time. But
All right.
that has always been with me. I think to this day, those kind of thoughts still linger in my mind from time to time.